In the dead of night, a suburban home whispers a sinister secret. A daughter, a knife, 79 times. A mother's life hangs in a horror too grim to fathom. Unearth the dreadful truth behind Isabella Guzman's descent into madness. As we unfold this story, we'll focus on the events, the psychological aspects, and the legal outcomes. Please remember, this video contains graphic content which some viewers might find disturbing. Isabella Guzman was born in 1995 in Aurora, Colorado. Growing up, Isabella's home life was marked by instability. Her relationship with her mother, Mihoy, was particularly strained. During her teenage years, Isabella's behavior became increasingly concerning. She was noted to have episodes of defiance and aggression, typical signs that often point towards underlying emotional or psychological distress in teenagers. It's also important to note that during this period, there were no criminal activities or police interventions reported in relation to Isabella, which made the subsequent events all the more shocking to those who knew her. In early 2013, the relationship between Isabella and her mother deteriorated significantly. The household became a ground for frequent and intense arguments. On August 27, the two had a particularly nasty argument that ended in Guzman spitting in her mom's face. The following morning, Hoy received a threatening email from her daughter stating, "You will pay." Frightened by the message, Hoy promptly contacted the police. Later that day, law enforcement visited the residence and had a conversation with Guzman, informing her that her mother had a legal right to evict her if she did not adhere to household rules. On the evening of August 28, 2013, Hoy returned home from work at approximately 9:30 p.m. Informing her husband that she was going upstairs for a shower, he quickly heard a sudden bang accompanied by chilling screams. Rushing into the bathroom, he found Hoy naked on the floor, covered in stab wounds. Her throat had been slashed, and she had endured 79 stab wounds to her head, neck, and torso. Despite his efforts to revive her, she was already dead. Understanding the psychological triggers that led Isabella Guzman to commit such a heinous crime involves delving into the complex interplay of mental health issues and family relationships. Disclaimer: these are only speculations and do not reflect a professional psychological analysis. Guzman was suffering from schizophrenia and had experienced delusion for years. Mental illnesses, depending on their nature and severity, can significantly alter a person's perception, thinking, and behavior, sometimes leading to unpredictable and violent acts. It's important to note, though, that while mental illness can be a factor, it does not automatically lead to violent behavior. Reports suggest that Guzman had a strained and possibly abusive relationship with her mother, who was a Jehovah's Witness. This ongoing conflict could have contributed to building intense emotional distress or resentment in Guzman, which might have acted as a trigger. Guzman reportedly had a history of behavioral issues during her teenage years. This could indicate underlying psychological or emotional problems that were not fully addressed, potentially exacerbating her mental health issues. In the days leading up to the murder, Guzman sent a threatening email to her mother. This suggests that it could have been specific incidents or stressors that acted as immediate triggers. However, the exact nature of these incidents is not publicly known in detail. If Guzman's mental health issues were not adequately addressed or treated, this could have contributed to a deterioration in her psychological state, leading to this tragic outcome. The aftermath of the tragic event on August 28, 2013, led to a swift response from law enforcement. Isabella Guzman, then 18, was apprehended by the Aurora Police Department the following day in a nearby parking garage, her clothes covered in her mother's blood. Initially, Isabella faced first-degree murder charges. The gravity of the crime was clear, but what ensued in the courtroom brought to light the intricate layers of this case. The focal point swiftly turned from the act itself to the mental state of Isabella at the time of the crime. In the months following her arrest, Isabella underwent several psychiatric evaluations. Mental health experts suggested that her ability to distinguish right from wrong was severely impaired due to her mental illness, as she was suffering from schizophrenia and had experienced delusions for years. The court proceedings took a dramatic turn with this new information. Isabella was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Post-verdict, Isabella was committed to the Colorado Mental Health Institute at Pueblo. This decision marked a shift from a punitive approach to a focus on treatment and rehabilitation. It highlighted the legal system's capacity to recognize and address mental health as a critical factor in criminal behavior, especially among young offenders. This verdict is often misunderstood by the public, though. It does not imply that the individual is free from consequences. Rather, it recognizes the impact of mental illness on their actions and the need for treatment rather than punishment. During the trial, the prosecution and defense grappled with the complexities of the case. On one hand, there was an undeniable and tragic loss of life. On the other hand, a young woman's severe mental health condition that, according to experts, played a significant role in her actions. As we reach the end of this episode, it is crucial to reflect on the many layers of the Isabella Guzman case. It is a story that goes beyond a simple narrative of crime and punishment. Instead, it offers a profound insight into the complexities of mental health and its impact on individuals, families, and the broader community. What do you think? Do you agree with the verdict in this case, or do you think Guzman should have been sent to prison for the ruthless murder of her mother? Thank you for joining us today on Casual Evil. Until next time, stay safe and keep seeking the truth.